So welcome back to the channel. We've had a break for a few weeks and now we're looking forward to the start of the flat season proper, the turf season. And today we're at Redcar on Easter Monday. The 205, the 345 and the 420 are the chosen races. And we're going to look at possibly 2 or 3 different strategies today in each of the race. So the first race is going to be a conventional back and lay and then hedge before the race to lock in some profit. The second race, hopefully, we'll look at some staggered in-running lane. That's a new topic that we're introducing to the channel. And then the third race, hopefully, we might get just a few trades where we're going to leave the money in and see if the horse can win the race. Now, the first race we looked at is the 205 at Redcar. We have done a few bets already. We've got Eternalist, which is locking in a profit at the moment of 3.33. I don't want to go in too early because we might get a lower price and then be able to just cash out for a simple profit on the day. Remember, we're playing for small stakes and the profit that we're looking for on the day is 6.25. That's our normal stake. The first stake that you're putting in at this level is 12.5, and then I've just put this one in case we get a few more bets on that. And you can see the market has changed. It took the few little bits and pieces, so we're back up to just leveling off at 38, but I would expect the market to come down again and hopefully we can lay that off round about £4 profit, maybe even a little bit higher if we're a little bit lucky. In the second race we've got Jay Walker as a bet so far, and we've also got Tiger Jim, and we can see we've locked in, or we could lock in some profit if we got a little bit more liquidity in the market. There isn't that much liquidity presently, so we're just waiting for these to develop. And then the third race we've looked at Eastern Dragon, and also Imperial Focus is another one that we're going to look at. We haven't played much on this race. In fact, we haven't played at all really. We've just got the target prices taken as we explained in previous videos. So that's the plan of action. The first race, the 205 at Redcar, that's a conventional trade. The second race is in-running lays with possibly a staggered system in place, and the third race we're going to look at just making a bet and leaving the bet in to see if the horse can win. At the end of the video we're going to be introducing or looking at our packages that we're going to be putting in place for people who want to improve their trading a little bit further, and that will also be live on April the 20th, so watch out for the packages. We're going to start with just the bronze and the silver packages for the moment, and then maybe towards the end of April we'll put in place the gold package. But anyway, check them out at the end of the video if you're interested in developing your trading career a little bit more. If you're just interested in the free videos, then these will continue, so again feel free to just tune into that. But the packages are paid packages. They're not too much per month, around about £14.95 for the bronze and just under £20 for the silver. The gold one will probably be around about £25–30. So again, if you do want to take advantage of that, look on the website, on the YouTube channel site, and take a look at that. And if you're interested, then obviously get in touch, or make sure you download the spreadsheets to see if you can actually take part in the packages. So you can see the bet on the 205 at Redcar has now developed somewhat. We've got, if I just move the cursor around, we've got bets taken at 40, 38 and 36, and then we laid off at 24. So that means any downward movement towards 27, 28, and we should be able to lock in the profit that we're targeted on the day of £6.25 just on this one race. For example, if we get down to 28, I think that should be enough. Let me just put a target marker in there, and you can see what the difference will be. So if it was 28, it'd be just under £9 if we can lay it off at 28. And that would be a good time to start laying off the bets. And then we could maybe wait and see if the market returns to the 36 level and do a few more trades. So that's what we're going to be waiting for, and we may be able to do that fairly shortly. Now you can see we've got a couple of bets on this side. Now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and move this 9 down and the 6 down. Somebody's actually done it for me there. I was going to put the 2 on the 30 to see if the 9 would then leapfrog onto the 29. So let's just see if that happens. The play was to put in the 2 at 30 and then see if somebody will put in at 29 more or less straight away. And we see we've got the £6.43 in there, but we need to get rid of £17.83, and we've not got that much on at 30, so we've only got this £2 because £2 of it obviously is our own money, so we can't take that as part of the bet. So we're just waiting to see if that will actually go down to 29.28. And sometimes you can do that where you've got a little bit of money on this side, and then you can put in just a small £2 bet, and sometimes you'll get the price leapfrogging down to the price that you want, and then you can lay off. And you can see we've now laid off some of the money on Tiger Jim as well at 46. Only £5.51 gone, so we've got another £8 to get rid of. We can't do that at the moment because we don't have enough money on this side to take that. So as soon as that comes down to round about 46, we can lay that off. Don't forget, this is the race where we're going to play in running and not take the pre-race profit. This is still the race that we're going to look for the pre-race profit, and you can see that's not really materialized into what we were hoping for. So we're still going to wait until we get 28, possibly 29, something like that, before we lay off. So sometimes it works where you put the money in underneath and hope that it just leapfrogs it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. On this occasion, the strategy didn't work that well. Nothing really going on in this final race, the 420. We may not be able to do anything in that race, but we'll just have to wait and see what develops. Save the Bees certainly would be an interesting runner if we can get that up to 32, because that is a confirmed front runner. It's got a good draw as well in stall 3. So there's not much opposition presently at 28, only £2 there, and then these are just bits and pieces really at 27 down to 24. And you can see we've got this 5 now coming in at 29, so we could take that if we wanted to, and trying to lock in some more of the profit that we've got to get rid of. Remember, we've got to get rid of £17.83, but it might be just worth it just to wait a little while to see if we can just knock off these bits and pieces here. And that will obviously give us a better return hedging before the race. Some of these other ones are moving out. Lady Molly is moving out 30, but we are actually looking at Eternalist as the one at the moment. So I don't want to start playing on Lady Molly. We're just going to look at Eternalist for this race. And you can see that came down slightly, but there's nothing really in there to be worthwhile taking. So we're up to £8 if we can get that laid off at 28, but there's no money there presently to do that. Certainly nowhere near our £17.83. And now you can see we've got 5 at 27, so I'm going to take that, get rid of that, so I don't want the market to push up. We've got rid of another 5.72 at 26, 29, 26.95. We've got 3 there at 28. We could take maybe just a little bit more. If we did get a little bit more on that side, we could take that as well. So we've still got £12 to get rid of. We can now take those
fully
two.
Matched.
That will reduce it a little bit more. We've only got £5.86 to get rid of. We're below the 50-minute mark towards the race, so I am trying to get rid of this now, and we're trying to hedge out before the race. So any little bits and pieces that's coming in at 27.28, we're going to start taking. Remember, at this stage we don't know as the race gets closer whether this price is going to push up or whether it's going to push down. So you take your chances. Best in this race to cash out before the race and just take your profit. We do have obviously other races that we can play on a little bit later on to try and win a bit more profit, but it would be nice to just lock in this profit on this first race. We've now got the option where we can take 6 at 29, and I'm going to do that. Let's get rid of that so it doesn't push the market up slightly, and then we can wait. Now we're only got 25 pence to get rid of. So we're in a position now where we're going to win no matter what happens with the trading on the market. So we can actually be a little bit more patient and see if the price does go down to 25, 26. I'm still of the opinion that 28, 29 is a decent price that we can take, and we could actually now cash out at 32 and win £7.17. And then if the market does push up, we can do a few more trades. So you've got plenty of options on these type of trades on these races. We still of course have the option of leaving this money in to see if the horse can win. We've got the option of trading and running, but in this particular case, like we've said earlier on, we're just interested in locking in that profit to start with. And we've got a position now on Tiger Tim. We can take the
fully matched
there, and we've only got £1.76 to get rid of, but this, don't forget, this time we're going to play in running with this race here. We can take a little bit of money out on Jay Walker as well, but that might just go a little bit down. There's no real rush with this race. It's only off at 3.45. So we're nearly about half an hour away from this race, and I'm going to cash
fully
out
matched
at 30. We've got a locked in profit of £7.64, which is above what we came in for. We came in for £6.25. Remember, there's level 2 staking. The first bet was £12.50 and then £6.25 after that. So we're more or less halfway through the level 2 stage, and that's the kind of stakes that you want to be putting in at this stage. So we've locked in that profit. That's fine. That's one race out of the way. We don't need to bother with anything now in this race. We can just let that go and move on to the next one. You can see that I've already locked out of the Tiger Tim and the Jay Walker bets over here. So we'll just move that up because it's overlapping with the bottom of the computer there. So we've got £93.96 on Tiger Tim, and that will be a staggered in running. We might be able to put a few more trades in on that one if it goes up to 60. And Jay Walker as well, we're hoping to do a few more trades on that. We've got £38 on that one. That might not be a staggered one unless we can get in a few more trades. Nothing developing on the 420 at Redcar just yet. And I've just put in the target prices, so that when it reaches that price it will give me an alert sound, so I can go and do something else in the room. I don't need to be staring at the screen. The computer will actually tell me when the bet is more or less the price that I want it to be. So that's the reason, if you haven't looked at the other videos, that's the reason for the penny going in at these prices, just as a target alert to let me know when the price reaches that particular mark. And similarly with this race here at 420, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to trade at that price, just that I'm going to get interested in looking at the prices and see the position of the market when it reaches that figure. Remember, we have no real interest in the in-running price for the 205 at Redcar. I am going to let it run and see what happens in running. It would also be interesting to see what happens to Eternalist before the race. I'll be quite straight, I don't know whether this price is going to go down or maybe go up to 40. So it is first time out. It's fitness is taken on trust. We have got a decent price for it, that's how we made the trades. But in terms of the price movement, there's not going to be a big player on my side that says this price is going to go down or this price is going to go up. It really is in the lap of the gods what the other traders on the market think of the horse's chance. And you can see we've got a little bit of movement down, so we could have waited, but I'm quite happy to take the price when I did. And like we've just said, we don't know whether this price is going to go down or whether it's going to go up. It will be interesting to have a look at that with the run up to the off time of the race. We're obviously now more interested in Tiger Jim and Jay Walker as trading options at the 60 mark. So we're now within the final 5 minutes of the 205 at Redcar over 5 furlongs, and you can see the price on Eternalist now just drifting out to 32.34. So in retrospect we were right to cash out before the race. We would certainly got a less of a hedge profit if we waited this late to do the hedging. And we're just waiting for the race to start. There's no real interest in the in-running at this stage. We've cashed out of the market, but it will be interesting just to see where these horses get to in running. Certainly Rosie Claire was one that we looked at earlier on. We missed the boat with that one. Wasn't much money flying around at the time. And Eternalist, first time out, so anything can happen with the horse. It could run a decent race, it may just be out for the run. As a normal punter, you're not in the know about these things, so we'll see how it goes on. Bombshell was another one that we were going to look at, and that one didn't get to our trading mark, so it's going to be an interesting race, and certainly 1 or 2 pointers for the future to pick up with 1 or 2 of the horses in this particular contest. Just a pointer about this race, the 345 at Redcar. You'll notice that Tiger Tin, we've got a hedge profit possibly of £2 and 4p, so you could actually go and do the reverse trading method, which we looked at in a previous video. I think it was the psychology and reverse trading video in level 1, so go and have a look at that if you want to know how that's done, and you could certainly do that on Tiger Jim presently. So you can see on the profit and loss column on the right, just under the graph, that we are making a profit in this particular race. Doesn't matter what wins the race. And then we can move on to the 345 at Redcar. So we're past post time, 5 furlong sprint, so halfway is going to be round about here. And final furlong is going to be when it gets to more or less Emerald Secret. So watch the line going across, that'll tell you the progress of the race as it unfolds. So it's going to be over with pretty quickly. So the race is off. Let's have a look at the fortunes of Eternalist. I think it's been down to 19 so far, so I'll see if it gets any lower than that. Coming up towards the halfway stage, gone out to 90. Hovering above the 50 mark certainly at this stage. Coming to 20. So again, a big discrepancy between the back and the layer. 20 is round about the lowest mark so far, 19.5. Hasn't come much lower than that. Getting towards the end of the race, 170, 240, up to 1,000. So we've certainly ran halfway in the pack, I'd say. Certainly not threatening the leaders at any stage, but it doesn't matter. That's what trading is about. We've traded before the race, we locked in the profit, we made a profit on the race, and in all likelihood Eternalist has run towards the back of the field, so we're quite happy with that. We'll move on to the 345 at Redcar. Let's just have a look what did win the race, and it was one of the favourites, Carlton Frankie. So that was the winner of the race, but it didn't matter. We've made a profit on the race. There was no real pressure on the trades, and we can now move on to the next race, which we'll be playing in running with Tiger Jim and Jay Walker. So let's have a look at the first one on the list. The Tiger Jim is the one we traded to the most amount. It's now a 7-year-old, and we're going to have a look at its 5-year-old career in handicaps and also its 6-year-old career in handicaps. Not too bothered about its time as a 4-year-old because that was quite a long time ago, but we do need to have a look at the 5-year-old career just to look at the ground suitability. Now first of all, we're going to look at the ground in terms of what we've got today and what it's done in the past. Now you can see from its form as a 6-year-old, it's probably better on softer ground, but that doesn't mean that it can't run well on this type of ground, and the ground at Redcar today is in fact good to firm, good in places, so there is a little bit of cut in the ground in places, and it has run well on good ground here at Doncaster and again here at Aydock Park over 6 furlongs. So the distance is fine, that's probably its best distance. In terms of rating, we're not too far away from the ratings as a 6-year-old, and if we look at the ratings in August at Thirsk, it was rated 82 when it was second of 16 and 83 when it was second of 14, beating a nose at Ayr on October the 6th. So that rating is fine. In terms of the class of the race, the average race rating, that is also in line with expectations of this run at Thirsk. So August the 26th at Thirsk, rating of 82, class 84, total rating 166, not much different than today. So the only question mark about the horse is the going of good to firm. And we've already said that it's run well on good ground, and if we go back to its 5-year-old career, it's actually run very well on good to firm ground at Doncaster. So we can possibly overlook the fact that it is more suited to soft ground. Remember, we don't necessarily need the horse to win, we just need to run a decent race. And I think over today's conditions, we've got that in place that it could run quite a decent race. Now, I'm not taking any notice of this run on April the 2nd at Doncaster. We've looked at that kind of thing before, where it's just a opening race of the season, probably out for the run, and beaten 8 lengths, finished 18th of 21, and that's where you get your price from today. But the horse, as a 6-year-old, was pretty consistent. The only run where it should have done a little bit better is probably the race on July the 30th at Thirsk. Apart from that, pretty consistent. Doesn't get beat that much in its races, so we can ignore that run on April the 2nd, and we can go into today's race knowing we've got a very big price for the horse, and we know we can trade it quite easily. So that's Tiger Jim. That one's fairly good. I'm happy with the form of that one. Let's have a look at the second one on the list. So I'm just going to scroll through the database, see if we can find Jay Walker. Where we go. Jay Walker. So there's Jay Walker. I'll get rid of the background and then we can have a look at it properly. And here we need a little bit more evidence. Now, we've done this in the past where we've looked at the form and said, well, it doesn't really add up to start with. So we need to look at form from the all-weather, because that's where it's been running recently, and it's been improved form from its career as a 5-year-old. So I'm going to click on the all-weather tab at the bottom, and you can see here we've got a race at Newcastle over 6 furlongs, which is today's trip. 84 rating and 87 is the class, total of 171. So we're looking for something around that figure to make it competitive in today's race. And if we go back to the turf, we've got 172 today. So clearly, based on that run at the all-weather, I know I'm taking all-weather form into the turf, but it's recent form on March the 9th, and it's winning form which we can take into the turf season. Now again, I'm not expecting Jay Walker to win, but I'm expecting it to run well, and it's definitely got fitness on its side because of its recent runs on the all-weather. So we're hopeful of a decent run from Jay Walker as well, and hopefully it can get down to the price in running that we put in for the horse when the race is due to be commenced. So I'm happy with that form. The turf form doesn't really add up, so we've had to go to the all-weather. That adds up, so I'm quite happy, especially at the odds that we're getting for Jay Walker, again, to put that in as a trade and also an in-running price. Okay, we're about 13 minutes away from post time, and you can see the situation develop now on Tiger Jim, where the price has collapsed back down to 30. So we've got a decision to make in terms of whether we hedge the market now with both Jay Walker and Tiger Jim, or we can do what we set out to do originally, and that was to do the staggered in running. Now, most of the time I would hedge out and take the profit, but because this is a tutorial about staggered lane in running, then we're going to continue with the initial process. But it would be reasonable to suggest that you could hedge out before the market. So that's what the position is going to do, and I'm now going to show you how we would do this staggered in running. So I'm going to get rid of these. We're not going to do any more trades at these prices, and we're going to have a look at Tiger Jim. Now, first of all, I want to put the money in to win £6.25, and I'm going to do that at a price of 7. And it's important when you do that to look at how much money you've got left. So if we put that in, we would have £58.34 left, and that's a key figure to hold in your memory. So I'm going to put that in at 7 and right click in play keep. Now remember, we've got that money of £58.34, so we can put another lay bet in, as long as it doesn't go above the £58, we should be fine in terms of not losing on the race. So again, I'm going to find another figure a little bit lower down, and this time I'm going to put in at 5. So if I click in to put in £6.25 at 5, it's not going to be the figure that's showing at the top. That doesn't include the other figure. So what we're going to need to do is to calculate the in-running position if I put £6.25 in at 5. So clearly that's going to be less than £58. So I can afford to put that second stagger in-running into the market, and that's going to be shown in a little while. I'm going to show you that in a little while. So I can right click that, and again in play keep at 5. Now what we need to do is we need to have a look at the position in terms of our unmatched bets for this particular race. So I'm going to get rid of all these. In fact, it's on the second one. So what I've got here is the two in-running bets of Tiger Jim, one at 7 and one at 5. Now the first one took out £37.50, the second one took out 25, so that adds up to £62, or £62.50 if you want to be exact. Now that means we would still have some money left from the position, so £62.50 would leave us round about 31 in terms of what we would have left if these two unmatched bets got taken. So we'd have round about 31 to play again in running, and I'm going to put that position in a little bit lower down. This time I'm going to put it in at 3. So I've got 3 in running players in the market, and again, don't take any notice of the figure at the top. It's not going to be £82 left. We need to have a look at the unmatched bets on the right hand side. So right click, in play keep, and now we can have a look at those 3 bets and add up the total. So the first 2 added up to £62.50, and then we add on the £12.50, which gives us £75. So we're well within our range of 93, and if all the bets got taken, then we'd still have some money left over if Tiger Jim won the race. So that's the process of staggering your bets in running, but you do need to be careful that the figure that you're looking at is not going to go above this potential profit here. So £93.96 is the total potential profit, and then if we look at the unmatched bets, we can add up all the in-running players, and as long as it's less than the £93.96, we're good to go. So we've got those 3 in the market, and we can play on those without any worry at all. Now Jay Walker is a little bit different. We've got £38 there, so we're just going to put the one in-running player in the market, and this time we're going to put it in so we can see our eventual outcome without looking at the unmatched bets, and we can go and have a look at the unmatched bets as well. So what kind of price do we need to look at? 8 is clearly too high. 7 would give us less profit on Jay Walker. We don't want that. So we're looking at something around 6.4 would be fine, and that would give us a profit of £5.97 on the race, £5.94 on the race. Now that doesn't take into consideration how Tiger Jim runs in the race, so I'm going to put that in at 6.4 and right click in keep. So we've got these 2 horses for us in running. Tiger Jim, we've got the staggered in running players. We've got 3 of them, which we haven't done before. This is a new bit of idea for you to put into your own trading systems. And Jay Walker, we've got the traditional in-running play at 6.4. So Tiger Jim is the one that we want to get down to 3, Jay Walker 6.4. But if Tiger Jim does get down to 7, then we would still win the profit there, and if it gets down to 5, we would win that, but we wouldn't be able to win the final bit at 3. Now like I said before, I would be quite happy to take the hedge profit before the race, and clearly now that Tiger Jim has come down, that is an option that we could do. So let's just leave it at that. If Tiger Jim does come down, at least you know how to put in the staggered bets on Tiger Jim. If it comes down to 20, we might abandon the staggered bets and just take the profit before the race starts. So either way, we're going to win, or potentially win, on the race, and we're not going to have any losses. So that's what we'll see. We'll see how Tiger Jim does. Obviously, if it comes down to a mark where we can win a decent amount before the race starts, then we'll take that option. But you have at least been shown how to do the staggered in running before the race starts. In terms of the third race, it doesn't look like we're going to get that particular bet going, so we might have to abandon the 420 at Redcar and just take the profits from the first two races. So that's unfortunate. We didn't get that race early enough to give us that sort of system that we're looking at, just leaving the money in and hoping the horse wins. So I'm going to get rid of this race. We're not going to be playing on this one. Maybe next time we can have a look at looking at another 3 races and doing the same kind of principle. One where we get the conventional hedge before the race, second one, as we're doing with Tiger Jim here, the staggered in running, and the third one leaving it in place and seeing if the horse can win. And we also might put in a new topic, which is probably going to be the second part of the blocking aspect of trading, which we looked at in level 1 to some sort of degree. Now the level 1 looking at was using somebody else's money. The second, level 2, is going to be looking at using our own money to block a race and try and trade that way. So we'll just watch the 345. We'll get rid of the 420, then that doesn't show anything, and we will have a look and see how Tiger Jim and Jay Walker go in running. So we're past post time now, just waiting for the race to start. Remember, another 6 furlong sprint race, this one. The 345 at Redcar on April the 17th, Easter Monday. And the halfway point is going to be round about here where Bossy Pop is. And then our final furlong is going to be somewhere now round Handsome Dude. So we're looking for Tiger Jim to get down to at least 7, maybe 5, possibly 3. And Jay Walker also to play in running at 6.4. We have already made a profit on the first race, and we've introduced this new idea that some of you want to maybe try out in your own trading. If you've got any questions, obviously put them in the comments and I'll get back to you within 24 hours. And just a reminder to have a look at the bronze and silver packages that we've got coming on stream shortly. That will be on April the 20th. Details will be following after the in-running play on this particular race, and the videos for setting up and purchasing the packages will be on the YouTube site in its own section. So check those out if you want, just to confirm that the tutorial videos will remain free to view. So that's it, the race is off. We're looking for Tiger Jim to come down to at least 7, Jay Walker 6.4. So let's see what happens. We're already won on the day, so we're not too bothered whatever happens. So Tiger Jim 32 in running is the lowest point. We're getting up towards the halfway stage now. Jay Walker is trading about 50, has been as high as 95. Looking at the halfway stage, 3 furlongs left. Jay Walker drifting well out to 180. Tiger Jim still there at 55. Remember, I've had positions where they've gone right out and then come back in more or less straight away. So let's just see what happens. Jay Walker's beaten, that's not going to get traded. Tiger Jim 44, come down to 30, 25, 22, 17.
Fully matched.
And we've got some taken there.
Fully matched.
And we've had a few more taken. And it's gone back out now to 150. So we did quite well there. We've had quite a lot taken on the race, and we've ended up with a profit on the race of £17.81. So let's just have a look at the unmatched bets. We had Tiger Jim not taken at 3. So we've got the profit, £17.81. We've won about £26 on the race. That was the introduction of the staggered in-running play. I hope you found that useful, and I hope you'll join us for the next video. Thanks for watching. So welcome to the Exchange Trader. This is the bronze service option 1, which is available from today. The bronze service option 1 is giving you access to our forum and takes your trading to another level. So what does the bronze service offer? Well, we understand that most people who start trading have a full-time job, so it's not always possible to prepare form on a regular basis, and it does take quite a long time to prepare the work. So we can deliver all the form to your inbox the night before racing. Now, receiving extensive form for any race is, in my opinion, an absolute must if you're serious about taking the step from occasional trader to full-time professional. You can use the form in tandem with our online videos to spot those overpriced runners and gain more experience. So what do you receive? The night before racing, we will email you a comprehensive set of handicap form for 2 of 3 races for the following day, with a minimum of 60 races included during your monthly service. This builds into an extensive database of form with over 200 individual horse updates each month for you to keep in your own folders. So how do you start the service? First, you need to make sure you can open the spreadsheets. We use Microsoft Excel. Once you are confident the software will open on your computer, all you have to do is click on the purchase link underneath the video, and this will take you to the order page on Amazon. Make the transaction and we will send you a welcoming letter either through the post or digitally with further instructions, including an exclusive service email address for all our correspondence. This option 1 service is available for the introductory price of £14.95 per month, with a guarantee of no increase in price as long as you stay a customer. Just let us know the date for commencement to begin your bronze service option 1 package. The service offers a timeout facility. Again, just let us know the dates you don't want to receive the form and we will add the time onto your subscription. If you have any questions regarding the service, please post in the comment section below the video. All current service packages are available on our YouTube channel.